Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. The Excellencies and the caretaker of and the chairman of the Zainul Hasan Genggong Education Foundations, Ki Haji Muhammad Hasan Mutawakkil ala Allah SHMM. And then I respect to the rector of University of Zainul Hasan Genggong, Dr. Abdul Aziz BAMAG, and I also respect to my final project supervisor, namely Dr. Muhammad Hifdil Islam MPD, and to Miss Raudatul Islam MPD, who have always guided me from the beginnings until the implementations of the proposal seminal exam today. And then I reached the dean of the general faculty is Miss Wahyu Lestari MPD. And then I respect and proud of the head of the TBI study program. He is Dr. Zainuddin MPD. And I don't forget also to Mr. Ferry Ferdianto MPD. And also don't forget for my head of study program before he was replaced by the current head of study program. He is Mr. Benny Hamdani MPD. And don't forget that I respect and love my parents, who always support me in various situations. First of all, let's thank to God Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has mercy unto us, so we can together in this seminar proposal exam in good condition and healthy situations. Secondly, my salawat and salam always be giving us for our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has carried the Islam religions, so we can to differentiate between the true methods and the false methods. And then before I start today's discussions, let me introduce myself. My name is Subhan Jaki. I am a student from the Faculty of General Education, English Education. The first discussions is about the title of my final assignment, entitled The Implementation of Film in Teaching Speaking Skills Through Practical Methods to Overcome Students' Difficulties in Interacting at SMP Islam Hasanuddin, which title was chosen to increase students' interest in learning English. Okay, the first is the background of study. In the chapter 1, the background of study is learning English in foreign language. Classroom can be challenging task as requires mastering for essential skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Additionally, a student must also develop their grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciations. And continue to the research focus. The focus of this study is on how the practical methods of teaching speaking using films can be utilized to improve student speaking. Specifically, the research aimed to identify the step involved in teaching speaking through films and evaluate to how this method can help overcome these difficulties students face in speaking and interacting in English. And then continue to the statement of problems. And then in the statement of problem, there is two statement of problem here. Number one is how are the steps teaching speaking skills using films through practical method to overcome the student difficulties in interacting at SMP Islam Hasanuddin. And then the second is how the evaluations of the teaching speaking skills using films through practical methods to overcome the student difficulties in interactions at SMP Islam Hasanuddin. And then continue to the research objectives. Based on the statement of problems above, it formulates some research objective such as to identify and describe the step involved in teaching speaking skills using films through the practical methods at SMP Islam Hasanuddin, and to evaluate the effectiveness of teaching speaking skills using films through practical methods in overcoming students' difficulties in interactions. And then continue to the research significance, and the research is expect to contribute to English education knowledge and confirm the theories and relate to use of film in teaching speaking skills. And then continue to previous studies, and this is the previous studies, the similars and difference, and then originality. The originality of my research is to sum up the explanation of research difference. The originality of this research are divided into some points. 1. The research methods, and 2. The research subject and locations, and 3. The research focus that I will be investigate. And then continue to theoretical frameworks from speaking down to teaching speaking skills, and become teaching methods and teaching media, and teaching method down to practice, and teaching media down to films, and practice and film down to improving speaking skills. And then continue to research designs. This research is adopt a qualitative approach focusing on the acquisitions and analysis of known numerical data to understand a concept, opinion, and experience. And then continue to the source of data. Source of data become two sections. Is number one is primary data and secondary data. Primary data is collected directly by researchers or original source, not from secondary source such as books, articles, or reports. And the secondary data has advantages because easier to access, faster to obtain, lower cost, and secondary data can be used to complete or support primary data or as the main data source if it is not possible to collect primary data. And then continue to the data collection techniques. There is observations, interview, and document review. The observations is research methods use the greater explains that data by observing participants or subject in a specific settings. In interviews, one-on-one interview are a popular choice in a qualitative approach research. And the document review. Furthermore, this research analyzed the document review of module and syllabus at SMP Islam Hasanuddin. And this is continue to the data analysis, and this is the data analysis. There is a data condensations and data display and conclusions drawing or verification. And then the last is about why the researchers choose to research at SMP Islam Hasanuddin. Number one is the similar research has never been conducted in these schools, in these educations. And the second is because in these institutions there are still many shortcomings that need to be fixed, especially in English language learnings. Because therefore the researchers choose this research because the researchers want to improve English speaking skills by using films with practical methods. Okay, thank you very much for this time to watch me, and I apologize if you find any errors and mistakes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.